This romance anime is actually so funny, and if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you check it out. I am stoked to talk about it because it is one of my
all-time favorite parody romance animes
ever. I am talking about Monthly Girls Nozaki-Kun. Let's talk about the plot. Chiyo decides that she's finally ready to confess her love to Nozaki, who is a just kind of a aloof guy that doesn't catch signals very well. So she, from episode 1, goes up to Nozaki and confesses her love, but for some reason gets a little stumbled on her words and decides to tell him that she's a fan of his, in which he replies by signing an autograph and then eventually taking her under his wing as a manga artist of one of her favorite manga and one of the biggest kind of shoujo manga around the school at the time. Let's break down the characters. So Chiyo and Nozaki are two just very polar opposite kind of characters. Like when you're talking about Nozaki, you were thinking aloof, you were thinking a little detached from reality, you were thinking just a hive mind that is solely dedicated to getting shoujo manga done and getting his deadlines met, but in kind of a very like fun way. Not like he's like stressed or overworked or anything. He is just genuinely passionate about constantly writing his manga, making it better, and pleasing his mangaka and a sensei. And then there's Sakura, Chiyo, who's just solely kind of obsessed with Nozaki, who's also a very gifted painter, a very gifted artist that kind of gives the life experience that Nozaki needs to like kind of apply that to his manga, which creates all the kind of funny situations that you get throughout this parody romance. And even though Sakura is constantly throwing out kind of, you know, just lobs of like, hey, I like you, hey, I love you, like, hey, we should date, like, hey, you want to get dinner with me? Like, Nozaki's just like, you know what, that would make for a good manga episode, and that's the perfect blend of just absolutely ridiculous characters for me. The good of Monthly Girls, it all lies in the sitcom element, in the sitcom aspect, all the wacky situations that you get into. I mean, there's even an episode where Nozaki just gets trapped with one of the side characters, Mikoshi, that just wants to show him a dating sim, except Nozaki very much proves that he has no clue how to interact with women, especially that might be interested in him, because he just kind of makes all the dating sim characters just absolutely go insane in the worst possible way. So I think when it comes to Monthly Girls, it's not exactly a complex plot as a lot of comedy anime are or a lot of parody anime are, but it very much gives you just like a lot of soul in the characters, a lot of diversity in the characters. Like there's characters that, you know, are like Mikoshi, for example, is a phenomenal side character. He's very quirky, you know, he's so full of himself, while at the same time he kind of has the opposite part of his personality where he's extremely shy around people he's unfamiliar with. And then there's some theater characters that are fun, but Nozaki and Chiyo are both just like such like wacky counterparts to each other that it just constantly lends to putting them in different, very random situations. And also just as like a manga fan, it's cool to be kind of in the, for me, like a setting matters a lot in a story. So I think the setting being around kind of the centerfold of like a manga production, especially shoujo, which I find very fun and fascinating, easy to read. Like it's just fun. It's a great atmosphere. Doga Kobo produced it, and they're responsible for like Oshinoko and but like My Senpai's Annoying, stuff like that. And they've just Alya Sometimes Hide Your Feeling in Russian. That one is brand new and pretty good, like, and popular. So they're just pushing out good stuff. Sadly, this only got a season. I don't know exactly why that is. The manga's still going, but that aside, yeah, the characters, like the music is on point, the animation is on point, the setting is the best I could possibly imagine, and the pacing of it all is just, it's got a very Ways of the House Husband kind of pacing, or Psyche K kind of pacing, where you just, there's not a single moment, even though there's not a whole lot going on, where you truly get bored, and you are kind of constantly just laughing throughout the whole season. Is there really any bad to Monthly Girls? I mean, just from my perspective, I might be a bit biased. I truly like just love this anime, and maybe I think if it would have gone on too long, I could have had more reasons, but since there was only 12 episodes, I think it was just the perfect length of time to just give you something that is very polished, very put together, very very like just paced like to the max. Like they were just maxing out their pacing perfectly for it to be just an enjoyable little quirky ride along the way. So it's hard for me to find anything I really dislike, because another thing is that they utilize their side characters as main characters in a way that wasn't kind of taxing as a viewer. Like you weren't just like, oh, get back to the main guys. Like their side characters genuinely so well written and put out in every scenario, like that exactly where they needed to be, that it just made the whole thing just constantly cohesive, constantly enjoyable. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say. Me personally, since I'm a big fan of it, I guess a downside is I wish there were maybe 10 more episodes or one more season, and I would have just been so happy. But that's what the manga is for. So overall, I really do not have a lot of negatives to say about Monthly Girls. Final thoughts on Monthly Girls. I think if you like things like Daily Lives of High School Boys, which I've covered before, and that is also an amazing comedy anime or parody anime. If you like Disastrous Life of Psyche K, if you like Ways of the House Husband, if you like something to just kind of like be able to binge in a weekend that you can turn your brain off and then just laugh, if you need a good laugh in your life because life is hard, then this could be perfect for you. Again, the characters are also great. They're written so well. The animation's fun. The music's on point. The pacing is phenomenal. It is hilarious. So I think anybody could truly get into this anime, especially with the parody element. I just think it's just really, really well done. If I had to rate it, I mean, I'm giving it a perfect score. This is like the perfect like parody comedy romance anime to me. I'm giving it 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. And also go read the manga. The manga is also phenomenal. Yeah. So Monthly Girls Nozaki-Kun, check it out. Just so good. And I'll see you later.
Bye.